we're going to retrace our steps as we go over the River Lowther. And we head now to the village of Shap. Up on Orton Fells, I mentioned that this area is synonymous with limestone. Well, there's 4 quarries within, I would guess, a 6-mile distance. You've got Shap Quarry up the top. Within Shap itself, you've got Tartar Steel. Then you've got Cemex. And then there's another one further down, I don't know the name of, but that's 3/4 quarries, all within 6 miles, all on the A6. So as we go through Shap, it really is a one-road town, but just up there you've got an open-air heated swimming pool. So this is the road you would take to the M6. You'll see the brown sign saying Orton Village, and that's the one we're going to take. How about that for a view? Welcome to the Howgill Fells, and as we go just a little bit further, we can then say welcome to the Westmoreland Dales. This is all still within the Eden Valley. This is more or less the southern boundary of the Eden Valley at the Howgill Fells. But no less steeped in history. And there's the sign, Westmoreland Dales. They call it Yorkshire Dales National Park now, believe it or not, which has got absolutely, in my opinion, nought to do with the Yorkshire Dales at all. Just to the south side of Orton, and just before you see the signs in front, we're going to turn left, and we're going to disappear off into the countryside. Now just down here on the right is a very small building. I think it's got to be the cutest building in the world. And that's Raisbeck Old School. That was a schoolhouse. So, a little while ago, all the children from around the local farms used to come here to go to school. And it's Raisbeck Dame School. It's not very big, is it? Let me stand in the corner. There is another level. And there you go. So that was Raisbeck School, or is Raisbeck School, not was. Well, I guess it was a school, it isn't now. And then we take this left fork towards Asby and Sulby. And as we get close to the top of the rise, we can see quite clearly the limestone rock. And we're going to turn right down here, because that's the way that we're going to go. Now what you can see in front of us here is Orton Scar, and it's all limestone rock, and legend has it that all round here was the floor of a tropical sea or a tropical ocean. And I've got a question. The ocean must have been like pea soup, because all limestone, they say, is formed from the shells of crustaceans from millennia ago, and then it was compacted through the force and all the rest of the stuff. But this whole area is littered with limestone rock, as well as the 4 quarries just over there that dig out the limestone. So the ocean must have been thick with crustaceans. Now as we trundle towards the base of the Howgill Fells, we're going to go through the little village of Ravenstone. Isn't that a fabulous name for a village? Ravenstone. Rah! It's a powerful name, is that? Ravenstone. Where do you live? I live in Ravenstone. Now, having come through Ravenstone, got to the Fat Lamb, turned left and then turned right just after the cattle grid. We're now heading down towards Maland, but I've stopped here for a reason. That is the view across part of our Eden Valley. Right the way up there, right in the far distance, that's Orton Fell, where we were right at the beginning of this adventure. But this gives you another perspective. That is the North Pennines. Right down in the bottom there is Kirkby Stephen. But this area is littered with lime kilns, where they produce the lime to scatter on the fields. And I've got a friend of mine, Teesdale's literally just over the hill, has a campsite there, and he got a couple of fields, and they just looked drab, just grass was just there. And he got some lime and he spread it on his fields of grass. I've never seen grass so green. After a couple of weeks, the ground soaked up the nutrients and the grass became lush. That is why farmers spread lime on their fields. The crops go berserk for it. But this area here is littered with history and heritage, and that's where we're going to go, down to the side here, and we're going to see, well, the most romantic castle in the world. But if you think that was a view there, just wait till we get over here. Look at that, you blighter. We're now dropping down into Maland. Isn't Maland a great name? There's some great names around this area. Ravenstone, Maland, strong names for areas. But if you haven't explored the Eden Valley, how man, get a grip. You're going to see this scenery. You're going to discover and explore the history and the heritage that is steeped in the area. What would you rather be looking at? Scenery like this, or the car park of Ambleside and Windermere? It takes no beating, although in one of the other adventures there's another area. In fact, there's two areas that I absolutely love. This is most certainly one of them. Maland. Now, just off to our right, just over there, you've got Wild Boar Fell, reputedly where the last wild boar in England was killed some hundreds of years ago. Just over there. Because this area was littered with the armies of gentry living in the castles of Appleby and Brough and Broome, but none of them quite has the legend that you're just about to discover. Isn't it just fabulous? Come on! And this is just off the A66 Transpennine route. So accessible, it's got a sign on it saying, "Come on, we welcome you with open arms." Now, in this area here somewhere, and I haven't yet been able to find it, there is a fortified house or a mini castle called Limestone. I'll do a little bit of a write-up in the guide, in the book. But here we are. What I class as the most romantic castle in Britain, if not the world. Here we have Pendragon. Legend has it the father of King Arthur lived here, and stories abound within the book. Let me introduce you to Pendragon Castle, a ruin that was built in the 12th century. And in fact, one of the owners, Lord of Westmoreland, was involved in 1170 in the murder of Thomas Becket. So it's got a lot of history and heritage, this building. It's down in Maland region. Let me just show you that behind me here. The beautiful Maland area, and also the location of Wild Boar Fell, where the last wild boar, reputedly, was killed in England. Let me just show you around the ruins of the castle. The nearby high point over there on Maland Edge is in fact named after Lord Westmoreland, known as Hugh's seat, because he was Sir Hugh de Morville. Another owner spent much of her remaining years in the castle until her death in 1334. And Lady Idiona, the name of the person, is also responsible for building Church of St. Mary in the nearby hamlet of Howgill. But just look at the thickness of those walls. Still standing after 900 years. This was also built long before Henry VIII, that nasty tyrant. And just look through there, look. Windows. And down this area here, a door leading in. Let's go in. The castle itself was actually attacked by the Scots twice, in the 1300s and in the last time in 1542, where it became a ruin. and it became a ruin until the 1600s when Lady Anne Clifford took control of it, and she was prolific in the area. Not only was she involved in here, she was also involved in Appleby Castle, Brough Castle and Broome Castle nearer to Penrith. She had a passion for maintaining the castles and making them habitable again. But over the years, there was a second story put on, but as you can see, that's now long gone, and it became rubble. The rubble was eventually cleaned up. But why don't we have a look from above? And there we have Pendragon Castle, linked with Appleby, Brough and Broome. But the father of King Arthur reputedly lived there, but other people were poisoned. Stories, you cannot whack 'em.